welcome back to my channel. It's Rebecca Kate here, and today we are doing a bookshelf tour. Now I'll be going through every book on my physical TBR today, and trust me, there is a lot. My TBR is ever growing. If you have any suggestions as well, I'm always looking for recommendations. I love to read. Now I also watch and react to TV shows as well on this channel. So if you know any book adaptations that you want me to watch and react to, let me know. Starting with the top shelf here we have the cat and mouse duet. So we have Haunting and Hunting Adeline. Haunting and Hunting Adeline was my first dark romance, I do have to admit, and honestly, I have not gone back. Zade Meadows forever. Next up here, we have books 4 to 6 of the At This cover art. Honestly, if you have not read these books, you are missing out. I am also fully aware that I only have 4 to 6. Books 1 to 3 were lost in the mail and I have to go get them again. Here we have, don't mind my little skull. Here we have the ACOTAR series. I am very much a Cassian girly. I have this little tiara that I put on top just because one day, just like everyone else, I would love to be a high fae. Now I have this version of the ACOTAR series because I got them in a box set just from Kmart. My partner actually bought them for me for one of my birthdays. The Lightlark. Now, has anyone read this? I know it's going to be turned into a movie and I'm super excited. It is on my physical TBR list and it is one of my next up reads. I also have a Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. I have The Beauty in the Darkness, which is a vampire story, and this one is by Leah Reese. She sent me this in a PR package and I was very grateful to get it. Look at the cover art, it is beautiful and the story is actually super deep, very entertaining. Now we have this shelf here. I have this little Dario here. If you are a Dario fan, you'll know how fucking cool this is because she's reading a book, as she always does, but it sits perfectly on top of my bookshelf. But for now, I'm just gonna move you out the way. Sorry, Daria. We have a Good Girls Guide to Murder series here. We've got the trilogy. Now, I haven't actually read it. This is on my TBR. If you have read it, please leave it in the comments and let me know if I should read that next. Girl in Pieces, which I feel blew up on BookTok, as well as all of these three as well. Now, I would just like to give it up for Magnolia Parks. Her and BJ's relationship is goals. As much as it's toxic, it's also beautiful, and honestly, it's one of those first loves that you know is never going to be the same with anyone else. Now we also have Icebreaker here by Hannah Grace. As you can tell in the background, I also have Wildfire. Now, I started Icebreaker, but I couldn't get too far into it. For some reason, it just didn't catch my attention. If you think I should keep reading it, let me know in the comments. Also have the Atlas 6 here. Now, I bought this Tessa Bailey book specifically because of the cover art. I'm sure I'm not the only person that does this. I love a good cartoon digital art on a book cover. I think it looks great. So we have Bunny by Mona Awad. Sorry if I pronounced that. This is also one of my BookTok influenced books that I bought. And then we also have Crave by Tracy Wall. I'm also a Sanrio girly, so I do have some of these Hello Kitties just randomly on my bookshelf. I think they're so cute. I love opening up all the little blind boxes. I do those on my shorts as well. I am a very big Sailor Moon fan and I have this tuxedo mask. Funny story is my twin sister actually bought this for me one year when I was single, saying that this would be my new boyfriend. And to be honest, he was my first anime crush, so she got it right. Now onto the books. in the Duskwalker Bride series, there is more than these 4 here. I do need to get all of them. I have a Soul to Keep, a Soul to Heal, a Soul to Touch, and a Soul to Guide. You can also find these on Kindle. Now here I have By the Fae and By the Horns by Gemma Croft. You can also find these on Kindle. These are funny little fae rom-coms and I highly recommend them. I have 2 blind books. I got a selenite stick, a dictionary for dreams because I always have very weird dreams and I like to look them up. I have a self-care journal. If you don't have one of these, I highly recommend them. Have Before You Knew My Name. If you're an emotional reader, I highly recommend it. It did make me cry. She finds out about a girl who died and for some reason she is compelled to find out who killed her and why. And it's almost as if those 2 stories intertwine. And honestly, it is a 5-star read. Now here we have Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I'm sure it is on everyone else's shelf right now. I absolutely adored this book. I loved Iron Flame as well. I think they are such a good fantasy book just for a little bit of escapism. I love the characters, I love the plot, I love everything about this book. We also have Make Me. We also have the Ali Hazelwood new book, Bride. I'm very excited to read it. If you've read it, let me know in the comments what you thought about it. Also have the Inheritance games. Now, if you don't know me, I am a chronic illness girly. This series actually got me through a hospital stay. It made me engrossed in the storylines. It's about a teenage girl who randomly inherits billions of dollars from this old man, but she has to stay in the house for 1 year with all the grandsons. And then obviously there's romance, best friends, enemies to lovers, friends to lovers. There's everything. There's mystery. He plays a lot of mind games. If you're into any of these things, I highly recommend this series. We have Sally Hepworth, The Things We Keep. Now, this is not everyone's type of book, but I personally loved it. I love Penelope Douglas. I love the way she writes. Yes, I know the plot line is a little bit, but I personally loved it. I have a number of Penelope Douglas books that I need to get, specifically Birthday Girl as well. Now on this shelf here, I could have never guessed the ending. Honestly, 5 stars. Now we also have Spellcaster by Claudia Gray. It is about a witch coming into her own powers. If you haven't read it, go do it now. Are we seeing a pattern here? I do love all things spooky. These are Beautiful Chaos and Beautiful Darkness. This is books 2 and 3 out of the Beautiful Creatures set. And yes, I forgot to take the tags off. I got them thrifted and I was so very, very happy to find these finds. We have books 2, 3, and 4 from the School of Good and Evil. This was also turned into a Netflix movie. We have The Teacher by Frida McFadden. I haven't read this yet, but it is on my TBR. We also have Hooked by Emily McIntyre. It is a new adult version of Peter Pan. I actually got Book Fairy this, and this is The Silent Patient. I got this one the other day. It is Her Majesty's Royal Coven, and again, you see the pattern. I love all things witchy. Now for all the cowboy romance ladies, we have Reckless by Elsie Salt YA book, Cursed Crowns. We've got Pucking Around by Emily Raff. Now last but not least on this bookshelf, we have The Co-Worker by Frida McFadden. Now Frida McFadden is a thriller writer. If you've never read her work, go and do it now. Now this is my pride and joy. This is my Vampire Academy box set here. If you have never read Vampire Academy, this is actually the first novel I ever read as a teenager. It is what got me into reading. Now we also have the Glittering Court series by Rochelle Mead. We have Pip Drysdale's The Strangers We Know. If you haven't read this, this is about a woman and an affair, and honestly it is a 5-star read from me. We have The Sunday Girl by Pip Drysdale as well. Now, I loved this book, but I love Strangers We Know Better. Now, we have this very cute book called The Convenience Store Woman. It is a Japanese book. converted into English, it is about a convenience store woman with autism. It is a 5-star read. It is, as you can see, very short. Please go read this. It is beautiful. We have The Arrangement by Robin Harding. This is about a sugar baby and what she would do for money. Where She Went is actually one of my favorite books. It is the second to If I Stay, been turned into an adaptation, but this is the second book and it is in his POV and 5 stars. It takes place 5 years later after they break up and she goes to college and he doesn't understand why, after everything they went through, why she ghosted him. And they meet up for one night out of 5 years. Conversations with Friends by Sally Rooney. If you have not read this, I highly recommend the Amazon TV show adaptation, although the book is always better. We have Divine Rivals by Rebecca Roth. We also have Little Nothings by Julie Mayhew, Occupy Me by Tricia Sullivan. We've got So Close by Sylvia Day. We've got A Very Nice Girl by Imogen Crimp. And then we've also got The Fifth Letter by Nicola Moriarty. On the bottom shelf here, we got Memoirs of a Geisha. We have Under Every Sky by Kenzie Brooks. We have Sweet Bitter by Stephanie Downer. Now, this was actually adapted into a TV show. You can find it on Binge if you're in Australia. If you're anywhere else, I'm sorry, I don't know. I highly recommend it. If you've ever been in the hospitality industry, this is about a girl in New York City working at a restaurant, found family, there is romance. It's fucking steamy and it's great. We have The Edge of the Barrier by Elise Hughes. We have Of Poseidon. We have Miss Pettigrew's Peculiar Children. I loved this movie, so I picked up the book. Now we have the classic Time Traveler's Wife. I can't tell whether I liked the book, the movie, or the TV show better. Which ones did you guys like? Also, ever classic Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. And last but not least, The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. Now, lovelies, thank you so much for watching. There is so many books I would love to get more into depth about, like, you know, Broken Bond series by Jay Bree, the Akatar series, Duskwalker Brides, for example. So many more. I would love to get more into detail in another video. Now, this is my bookshelf. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any more recommendations on the books that you've seen from today or any that you think I might like, let me know in the comments. I'll see you next time, beauties.